This is Seattle's so-called Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, Chaz for short. Several blocks of the city now taken over by protesters. After several days of violent clashes between police and the protesters, officers retreated. This is Seattle's so-called
We are live on scene with Darius. Darius, how is everything at Chaz?
Well, as you can see from behind me, there's nothing but looting, shooting, and shooting up. Yeah, you know, what I realized about this is there ain't nothing new under the sun. So my name is Darius.
I'm George.
And so we're going to be reporting live from Chaz. As you can tell, it's going to be a pretty crazy episode. So yeah, you know, the talk of the news right now is Chaz, not Chaz Bono. I get it. That was, what, like 10 years ago that they were all over the news. I think the proper word is they. But yes, so today we're going to start off. There's a lot going on, from Seattle to Atlanta to the UN to Africa to Europe to pretty much all over the world right now.
And we're going to go into Anonymous being disbanded and how it's being brought up into the certain agenda going right now. And yeah.
All right. Let's finish with Chaz. We'll get back to that. We're going to come back full circle. Let's get into what everyone's talking about right now, the Atlanta shooting, right? So we're going to briefly go over this one, and then we'll go into the letter to the UN, and then Anonymous, and then Chaz. So, and we'll kind of bring it all full circle. So, Atlanta, outside of a Wendy's parking lot, someone was murdered, right?
Uh-huh.
Look, I can see you licking your lips getting ready to get in on this, right?
Dude, yeah. It just, like, it's still so fresh in my mind, especially after watching, like, the full video. And the guy was, like, just, like, begging. Like, he was like, dude, my sister lives, like, a couple blocks. I can walk there. I don't give a fuck about my car. I can walk there. I just don't want to go to jail tonight. And, like...
So, let's give a little bit of a background.
Yeah.
So, he was sleeping in his car when the police show up, right? There's like 7 videos of this now. They pull him out of the car. He was actually, you know, saying, sir, you know, no, yes.
Mm-hmm.
He was following everything. Do the sobriety test, the breathalyzer test, he fails. They start to arrest him, and then they wrestle to the ground. One of them pulls a taser on him. He removes the taser from the police officer's hand and then gets up and starts running. The other police officer tases him and is running after him as well. I'm not too sure if the taser itself actually pierced him or not, if it had no effect. And then the other officer gets up. When he turns around, faces them with the taser, the officer behind him shoots him while he's running away, shoots him dead. Now, how does it go from sleeping in your car to being shot and killed within a half hour of your life? You know, we've all been through the sobriety tests. If you're over 21, even under 21, we've all been pulled over by the police. How does it escalate to that, George?
Man, I have, like, how it escalates to that. I've slept in my car while, like, to, like, sober up before. I had, like, a person come up on the window to check if I was alive, if anything. But yeah, I don't know how it escalates to that. What's being reported is one of the Wendy's employees actually called the police. And apparently, I don't think he had the keys in the ignition in the car, but I guess, like, Georgia may be different, because I know in California, if you don't have the key, if the car's not, like, if the cars are in the ignition and the car's not on, you're usually fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like. I haven't looked into that law in
Yeah.
Georgia.
Here's
But
the problem. Where's the human compassion, right?
mhm.
This guy was following your orders. Now look, obviously you don't know what that person's going through, who they are, what they are, you know. Doesn't mean they're racist, doesn't mean that they always are abusive. They could just be at the wrong moment, at the wrong time, right? And now what I saw was more of negligence and laziness. This cop was losing on foot and shoots somebody. I'm sorry, like you have no right to murder somebody over stealing a taser and, you know, being drunk in a car. Like you
Mhm.
said, most people I know have had encounters while they're drunk with police. Most people I know have had encounters with the police. Um, but how does it get to that, especially during a time where you would really think police officers would be minding their P's and Q's, right? It would be crossing T's and dotting I's, right? You're
Yeah.
at a point where there's your cities have been under, you know, distress for quite some time now, weeks, and you're gonna pull a gun. You know, part of me thinks like, what are you doing? Are you like, does a does a chip in your brain just switch and they just say kill them? You know, or is it just you're being lazy, you're not thinking in the moment? Now, foolishly, I know their argument they're trying to use right now is like, oh, in the moment, they didn't. The officer that shot wasn't sure if it was his taser or if it was a gun. Um, I know the tasers make popping noises. Again, I'm not. This is not. I'm not
Yeah.
excusing anything. Shit, I almost got shot in the face with a taser by my own fucking father on accident, just fucking around with one. You know. So, um, and again, I there is a problem with how police escalate things, especially when it comes to drunk driving. Now, again, I don't believe in drunk driving. You know, I haven't met anyone who's never had at least one sip in their life and been behind the wheel. Okay, um,
No one's a saint.
yeah, no one's a saint, but you know that goes back to the police officers. None of you have never done anything incorrect in your lives. Where's the human compassion of the job? And I understand that at any moment you don't know if this is a good guy, bad guy, crazy person, whatever, what have you. You don't know what's going to happen in the moment. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be smart and calculated. Don't just jump in. Don't just pull a trigger. You know, I was telling you earlier today, I have a new solution for this. Blow darts or trank guns, whatever you want to do. You know, always get that motherfucking thing on you, you know. Just get ready with a little you know, real quick, just you know, if they try to steal that on you, just you know, even a trank gun might be too much. You know, someone might have an allergic reaction or something. Just a quick, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
That's not a bad idea. No, I get that. Like people may say it's like I don't know. There may be an argument for it. Let's not kidding you, but like I
obviously,
don't think that. Yeah, I don't think there's like a big thing. I saw. I think in general, you just need
well,
to
you know
have
what?
like have safer cops. Also, like who, like I don't know, man. Like you said, it was negligence and laziness definitely on that part. How do you not run after them? And like what they're also bringing up as far as being a taser and having it pointed, they're saying it's a lethal weapon. The only time it may be lethal if you're holding on to the fucking thing, and then
So
the guy like gets killed.
yeah,
That happened in
so
Fullerton, but like,
they
yeah,
don't call things non-lethal anymore. I don't know if you've noticed that. They call them less than lethal. Because technically anybody can die from anything, right? You
yeah,
can be walking on the street, slip, hit your head, and you die. You know, you
uh-huh.
can have an aneurysm in your sleep. You know, McDonald's is killing you every day. So obviously they can't call it non-lethal because there are instances where people die. People have been taking rubber bullets to the fucking cranium and it's fucking rocking their brain and they're getting hemorrhages in their brain and they're dying. You know, that's a
Yeah,
fact. That can happen.
uh-huh.
Um, but again, what do you do though? You know, this is what it comes down to. What do you do? right? If you're an officer, what do you do though, right? You can't put someone into a submission, right? I'm not Joe Biden. I'm not some dumbass liberal. I know I used to be in jujitsu. You know, a chokehold is a submission. A submission is any type of, you know, move that holds, submits, makes them submit essentially, right? And that's why if you have your knee on somebody's neck, if you have someone in a chokehold, if they plea and cry, that's tapping out. Like you're not supposed to just crank it harder, right?
Yeah.
Um, but what is the right thing to do? Like, do you just let him run off? Like, obviously, it shouldn't have gotten to that point. That as an officer, you should say, look, if your sister is right around the corner, we'll leave your car here. I'll drive you there. Or whomever is with me, if it was like 2 guys per 1 squad car, maybe he can drive the car around the corner. Just make sure it's out of safe, so it's safe, so they don't try to tow it. And say, look, don't do it again. I have your license plate. I have your name. I have your license.
I know where,
Again.
It was an ethical thing to, like, there was a lot of, like, missed ethics
But George,
like, fucked up
the
on.
problem is there's normally misethics because one, he blew it. He shouldn't have taken the sobriety test. He should have said, let me wait for your sergeant, take me in, let's do a blood test, right? And argue it from there, right? You don't just say, let me, if you're in your car sleeping, don't just be like, yeah, I've been drinking. Yeah, and the sad part is he was honest, and that's what led to the escalation.
That's why I'm like, because they always have to be honest with me.
Yeah, but that's what cops do. They play good, bad cop. When I was with Hannah, I'm just gonna use her name because I don't really care about her. But we left. I didn't even know she was drinking when she met up with us at the bar in Newport, and we were driving to Costa Mesa. She gets pulled over. They were dicks to her. They were dicks to me. I was drunk. I didn't even know she was drunk. They lied to her. They actually misinformed her. They wouldn't tell her or me what she blew. The cop was trying to instigate something with me. He was trying to say, what, why you keep looking at me? Are you looking at my gun? Are you looking at my gun? So obviously, you can't just hide behind saying it's a specific color. They treat you like that. Okay, I've had bad run-ins with the police. They like to instigate because they have either a quota or a chip on their shoulder, right? More they can do, more money they can bring in for their whatever you want to call it, there is an issue. Now, you were there. You saw what happened. You went to actually see what was happening, and the cop told me, who is that? Who is that? And unclicked his gun, the little holster, put his hand on the gun, and if I didn't text you to walk away, you could have been shot. You would have been a statistic, George. So, obviously, there is a problem with aggressive police. But in the same, because it's a two-sided token, it's a two-headed token. The problem isn't that the police are aggressive, it's that people in general are aggressive and emotional. People in general have chips on their shoulders and have something to prove a lot of times. So you get these people like that go into the profession like being police, or even not even police. You have, you could be a good police officer and a good guy that believes in doing the right thing, and then you pull over the wrong person and they blow your fucking brains out. Or you could be a shitty police officer that's trigger happy and has never been in danger. The problem is there are aggressive people, and you don't know who you're going to work with, right? Or who you're going to be next to, work next to. I don't know if you ever watched Snapped when you're younger, but the person sleeping next to you has a high statistic to murder you. So that's a real statistic that the person you're sleeping with is going to kill you. So
Armin died, dude. Yeah.
Sad, man. R.I.P. So again, murder's done by humans, right? And that is the same factor in every murder, right? So when people are marching in the street, they need to realize Everyone is accountable. Everyone has this aggression in them. And what is the right answer? There aren't really a lot of right answers. Now, if you like, let's move into the UN and what's going on with the UN, because this will actually kind of tie into that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the man was murdered. The cops fucked up. They shouldn't have done that. Learn to run faster, okay? Use blow darts.
Take jiu-jitsu, learn how to fucking fight.
Well, the problem is they're trying to get rid of grappling and jiu-jitsu and choke and holds in police, and that's the opposite of what they should be doing.
Yeah,
because
they're taking out the chokehold, right? That's
But look, at the end of the day, if you resist in a fight, regardless if it's with the police or a stranger, and they slam you on your head, you can die, right? You get kicked in the ground, when you're on the ground being your head kicked in. There is no proper way to restrain somebody without injury. If the world was perfect, you would say, oh, there's a police officer, let me just get in their car right now because I ain't gonna get fucked up. But the problem is, most cases, not all, but most cases, people are going to resist. And now the thing is, that's a human response. If you're being choked, slammed, beaten,
handcuffed
down,
you're hurt.
Yeah. Regardless, it's a natural response for your body to resist because it's an uncomfortable position for you. And if you're in an uncomfortable position, you're going to resist. It's a fight or flight mechanism. It's built into who we are. It's in our DNA. So cops need to realize now that is in it. So they need to do everything they can to not let it get to that point where they are resisting. But again, it goes back down to the person resisting as well. Again, if you were just to be like, all right, no, I'm not saying this would happen every time because there's a lot of piece of shit cops that even if you were like, all right, here, my hands are this way, they're still going to slam your ass on the ground. But for the most part, if you were just like, all right, let me get down, let me put my hands on my head, I'm done, it would be different. For the most part. Not every time, because there's a lot of times there are just piece of shit people that just want to take out their aggression. That's why people beat on their significant others, beat on their kids, beat on their dogs. The statistic that just disappeared was during the quarantine, child abuse, spousal abuse, domestic abuse, and suicide went through the roof, right? Through the roof. So obviously, even if you love someone, you have a chance. I said there's an actual chance that you might become a person that hurts them. So it's not just police, it's everybody. Human beings have a problem and they get aggressive and they take it out in the wrong ways, right? Maybe there should be a meditation before, in the middle of your shift, there's an hour meditation. Why don't we have that? 1 hour.
What do you think of counseling? Would you push that more to these guys, or is there apparently?
I'm pretty sure there is an option for counseling.
Yeah, they don't even go.
But again, counseling, you just someone to talk to. That's just someone to talk to. But at the end of the day, is that fixing anything?
Yeah.
Are you changing someone? It's the same as those girls that are like, I'm changing him. He's been to jail 15 times, but he's 6'3", so he has 7 kids, but sure, everything changes, but nothing really changes. So people lie out their ass every day. People, again, if you really want to know what would fix everything, Neuralink and microchipping. If we microchip everyone and connect everyone to the Neuralink that's coming out soon from Elon Musk, there are no more guessing. The problem is you guessing who someone is, what their intent is, and what their reaction will be, right? Because it's not always again, if you listen to the video, he's saying, yes, sir, no, sir, please, sir. He's being polite. He's doing the right thing, and he's trying to appeal to the human side of the police officer.
Yeah.
The compassion, the empathy, the sympathy. But the problem was, these guys weren't having it, and that's a fucking issue. But they didn't know or guess what they were going to do, that he was going to run, you know? And a lot of people in the fight or flight don't really think. They go into red.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the adrenaline kicks in, time moves separately. You know, I don't like these Chazwinians that have never been in sports, have never been in a real fight, and have never really understood what it's like to know what everything blurs and the focus of adrenaline. When you're in the moment of danger and fighting and aggression, you blind out most things, and it's muscle memory. And when a
100%.
cop, you have to remember, the cop's muscle memory is this: freeze, freeze, is gun first. Why do you think? So if you go to a range 4 times a week,
They
and you
want you to do
practice
that.
shooting more than anything,
Uh-huh.
that is muscle memory.
You got to get those hours in. Yep.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
that is muscle memory.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So
that
obviously, when you are in the heat of the moment, and everything in logic and everything's blurred out, muscle memory is the only thing that you have left. And, you know, a lot of these people that are marching in the street have never been in a real fight, have never been in sports. No, you know, my thing is everyone going to wrestling and jiu-jitsu and judo and shit, because I'll teach you what it's like to be in that moment.
They should do that at their fucking departments instead of at the range more. Like you add jiu-jitsu an hour a day.
Don't get me wrong. You should know how to shoot because, again, if there's,
Yeah,
you know,
but like you add
shooter
jiu-jitsu to the whole, like instead of like the hours you need or the rounds you need to be shooting, because there's requirements for like different departments. But you add like martial arts to that like requirement. I don't think it's a bad idea. Also,
Yeah.
but like
you need
again,
to learn restraints. You need to understand what it's like and be humbled. You know, a lot of police officers, I feel like, aren't humbled.
Yeah,
and
no, because they don't want to lose
when they are.
Yeah, like they lose their job. Like it's all mental. You're fucking right. Like,
And let me tell you a danger right now. This is something that's a fear of mine. Everyone keeps pointing out white supremacist cops, angry cops. Now, you fire these cops, and if 1% are real extremists, white supremacists, bad people, well, obviously they're armed, obviously they're smart, and obviously they know how the city works. And obviously, even if it's 1% of 1% of the cops that lose their jobs become an extremist, you just created a real domestic terrorist that can actually... Y'all ever see The First Speed? He was an EOD guy. And he used to plant... That's why he planted bombs everywhere in the movie Speed. The problem is there are people that are disgruntled and will retaliate. Now, let's get into this UN letter, right? So, a lot of people, this has been kind of like brushed under the American news. I really don't know why. Sorry, my nephew's like keeps like.
You're good.
But it's too hot, so I have to keep the door open. It's like 100 degrees. All right, so after George Floyd died, right, his brother and sister become pretty much front runners and figureheads of this movement, right, and many other people. And something that happened that a lot of people don't know is they sent a letter to the UN explaining what happened, and they want the UN to look into the violence and discrimination and the systemic racism, right? And then I believe and throughout these movements, there are movements, a few in African countries, a lot of Western countries as well. Now, 54, or is it 53? African nations.
It's 54.
54. So 54 African nations have written a letter to the UN saying that they need to have a debate and discussion on the systemic racism in the West, mainly the United States. And they need to look into what the U.S. is doing and essentially do what the United States has done to everyone else. Now, I have some issues with this, right? Where are the letters from the Libyan slave trade, right? That's a real thing. That's an issue. The children soldiers.
Sex trafficking, child and adult.
Yeah, pedophilia, sex trafficking. What about the UN intervention in the U.S. when we were actually being piece of shits around the world and
exactly
people?
Where are they in the Saudi Arabian bombing Yemen and like as far as that? That's a world
racist,
issue,
right?
That's still happening.
Going on still right now. There are people dying to this day.
Weird. And they're using illegal bombs to bomb children, and then no one's bringing that up. All right, cool.
The Indonesian slave trade. That right now people don't realize how bad it is in most parts of the world, and it's not the West.
They just found 1,000 in Spain, by the way, in sex trafficking, children and adults.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's
there's a real issue, and they think that it's a United States-led systemic racism issue. Now, look, there is racism, right? But there's all forms of racism. There's blacks not liking whites, whites not liking blacks, Asians not liking blacks, blacks not liking Asians, Hispanics not liking blacks. It's everybody dislikes everybody. There is a real problem. Now, it's just easy to say it's all whites. It's easy to just point at the white people because they've been the oppressors. But at the end of the day, it's everybody. And you can't just point at one. And I read something funny the other day on Twitter. They said, it's really weird. They keep saying that it's systemic racism and the whole system is racist, but the Democrats own the media. The Democrats own most of the government, most of the mayors, most of the governors. Democrats own most of Hollywood. The Democrats own pretty much everything. Academia is mostly Democrats. So what part of the system is racist? How is it the Republicans? And again, I'm neither, right? There's things I like that both do, and there's things I don't like that both do. But the fact of the matter is, there is a false, skewed, narrow history that people don't really understand. They have this little tiny bit of knowledge of history, and they think that they're fucking brilliant, right? Most people don't know shit about history. And being a history buff and someone that actually appreciates it and has literally my entire life followed history from the good, the bad, and the ugly, it really upsets me that people now are just like, wait, there's been problems? And it's always been these people. Well, obviously there's always been problems. But again, since the first writing of man, there have been less than 200 years without war. So in tens of thousands of years, there's only been 200. Less than 200, actually. So there is going to be always a problem and a struggle. And my fear is, with these new steps towards blaming the West, something that, if you know history, is the West is very nice until they get pushed into a corner, and then they become monsters for centuries, right? And they massacre, enslave, and ruin everything. And then they try to become enlightened, and then it happens again. They go into this wave of good and evil. And now, the UN, right, has no business saying anything about the U.S., nor stepping foot in the U.S., right? They have had a litany of their own issues, and especially caused around the world. And most of these nations that have sent this letter aren't that great themselves, right? And there's this huge push. I know Ghana is one of the countries that's pushing it, that they kind of want to step away from the West, and they kind of want to just rebuild themselves. The Ghanaian,
Are they dealing with China?
yeah. Well, here's an issue. This is my issue about this, right? They're pissed about the United States being racist, but they don't realize that many of their ports, mineral, and mining rights are owned by China. And China, when we're knocked off the fucking top, is going to wipe them all out if they don't listen. China don't like nobody. China's racist. China does not like black people.
They are literally racist. They think they're better than every other race. They're literally like people misuse that word a lot. Yeah. Like if they want to use prejudice or stereotypical, yeah, that's cool. But racist is when you actually think that you're better than another race. And the Chinese government is actually fucking racist.
They are very racist.
It's ridiculous.
They think they're better than everyone. And guess what? There's only one thing standing in their way right now of the entire world. Us. The United States of America. And the problem is, we are losing. Our economy was doing well, and now we're losing. This virus is now resurfacing, which I actually heard that a lot of the rural areas in the Sunny Belt that they're saying, the problem is, it's not, these are still the same cases. They're just getting their testing back, or they just didn't start testing till more recent.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So some of the resurfacing isn't, if that's resurfacing, I was listening to radio. It's that they're just reporting it now. No. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and here, let me tell you something.
Well, what about, did you hear about Arizona? Like, do you think that's part of that shit?
But I don't know. Look, this is the problem, right? Obviously, 70% of America has probably already had it, is going to get it, and it's spreading. It spreads fast, right? That's just a fact, right? It was weaponized by the Chinese government. I'll tell you right now, I'm sorry. I don't care if you think I'm speaking propaganda or not. They weaponized this to spread very quickly. It is attacking unhealthy people at an alarming rate. And the problem is, a lot of Americans are unhealthy. Let's be honest with ourselves. Self-accountability. You know, I'm sick and tired of everyone being so mad, like, oh, you know, we have to eat fast food. No, you don't. Okay? Because corn is $3 for $1. All right? Potatoes, I can get a sack of potatoes for $4. I can get literally a sack of carrots for $4. For $20, I can make stew for a month straight with barley, with carrots, with potatoes, all the things you need. The problem is, it's not going to be meat. It's not going to be good meat, especially good meat. So that's why they turned to McDonald's, Popeyes, fucking KFC, fucking Taco Bell, which is actually, let me tell you something about Taco Bell. Taco Bell was mostly soy for the longest time.
I blame that place on my childhood obesity.
Yeah, but no. It was probably an unhealthy version of soy, most likely. But, you know, I remember that when everyone's like, they have to be 100% beef. They're not real beef. But it was used soy. This was before the whole soy movement. Soy boys. And it's like, they were ahead of their curve, man. You made them go to beef. Now it's like garbage, like really garbage beef, if you really want to know what's in it. So, look.
It's trash. I had it recently. I was like, oh, fuck.
COVID's coming back, they're saying, right? This is spreading all over, you know. And again, just like people and COVID has to do with people, it's an individual basis, right? I've known multiple people that have had it. They fought it off. They're fine. Now, I've heard of people dying from it. But again, 100,000 people dying of something when on average sickness kills over 100,000 people anyways a year in your country, is that a problem? Do we stop this country again? They want to go into a second quarantine already. Why? Why do they want to do that? Why do they want to cripple this country even more?
Mm-hmm.
Everything they're doing right now, from the marching to the quarantine to the politics to the police to the media, especially media, is crippling our country. We all live here. At the end of the day, we all live here.
Mm-hmm.
I just read an article that all these truckers are trying to unionize, and form a new union, and say if they are having protests or in quarantine and a couple other stipulations, they don't want to go there. They're not going to go there.
So they're not going to get food anymore.
Gas, food, electronics. If they're having riots, they said they're not going to go. Too many truckers have been hurt. And it's like, look, let me tell you something. An 18,000-pound truck with gasoline in it can't stop at going 70 miles per hour right away. That's a bomb. If those brakes catch on fire, every one of you fucking protesters dies. It's going to be a huge bomb. So obviously, if he just hit his brakes as hard as he could right there, it would catch on fire because that's what happens. It's called friction. All you fucking people are apparently educated, but don't even understand friction, right? So, I'm getting a little pissed, getting a little hot, getting hot like those brakes. Thank you. So, going back, so now the UN, right? In the article from Al Jazeera News, was essentially saying, because it was on multiple news sources. I literally looked up multiple, none U.S., none. They're mulling it over and they want to have these debates, but then now they're saying, well, we might go into a second quarantine. China apparently just had their biggest outbreak last week, in the last 2 weeks actually. But again, is it a new outbreak, or are they just testing people and now they're realizing they have it?
Or they're trying to end the Hong Kong riots again.
Let me tell you a few things. Such a coincidence that the Hong Kong riots get back in full force, and during the quarantines, the ones that weren't sent away in trains, which there are videos of that happening. And hey, you say we have concentration camps? Get ready to go to China.
Yeah, for real. They got Muslims in their concentration camps, re-education camps for those
Muslims,
guys.
Africans, and Hong Kong liberal
Protesters.
freedom fighters and protesters. So, but they became stronger when they came back. They were unified. They were using very smart tactics, right? Very smart. And guess what? Randomly, it comes back again. Hits even harder this time in China.
Crazy.
And not only that, you have it in the U.S. And so it's like, I've been going around rural Texas, Waco. Nobody's sick. Most people don't even wear masks anymore. Nobody even cares about any of the politics right now. It's kind of crazy. Nobody's worried about the sickness. Nobody is fighting. There's no marching here. I have conversations with black people every day. I'm at the store. I shoot shit, talk about trying to make more money. There's no problems out here. It's almost like I'm in another world. It's creepy. I don't care if you're white, black. Actually, the biggest problem I've had here was I saw a gross couple, like one of those perfect tens where she's like this and he's like that, like really white trash couple, like trash.
Wow.
Making out in the middle of the park, like hard, like
what parking lot?
Like he was heavy petting, okay, of Heb. It's a HEB.
Knuckle deep type shit.
Yeah, just like, dude, like fish sale, man. So I was like, fish on sale? Push the fish. It's about to turn.
What parking was this?
The Heb. I took you to that HEB. That major store.
Grocery store.
Yeah, just perfect 10.
Not in the car.
And so I didn't know that they stopped making out when we walked past them, and they were walking behind us, and me and my brother are talking shit. And of course we're talking shit. It was disgusting. You know, you know me. I talk shit to everyone about everyone. I like to shoot some shit here and there, and then like I could hear like a, and I look back, and he's just eyeballing me, so pissed, and he kind of like puts his hand on his like belt to kind of show that he has like a fawn hoof knife. And it's like, okay, dude, you're paper thin. Okay, you need that blade, and I would kick you so hard in your diaphragm right here that you ain't getting back up. Okay, the only person I was afraid of was that fat bitch you're with. All right, because she's the only one who could probably throw a punch in that whole relationship. You're twiggy ass shit. So don't give me a dirty look. Okay, you're the fucking idiot that's, making out in the middle of a parking lot like white trash does. Okay, so out of all the people here, I've had no issues with anybody, and that guy was the closest thing to an issue. So, all right, let's get on to the next topic because we're kind of getting off it, kind of getting all over the place. A lot of tangents, guys. What you here for? Are the tangents? I know you're not here for the news. All right. Yeah, you're here for the laughs, the fun, and this, the crazy antics. Whoa. Oh, hold up, real quick. I gotta say something. SpongeBob is gay. Now, if you're in the conspiracy theory community or truth community, you know this, George. The whole SpongeBob SquarePants is about gay sex. That if you George, Sam Tripoli has talked about that. Heard it 3 times on his podcast. It's like a lot of the things they say and do and the different characters are different types of gay sex. And that's why like the tough guys are always in dominatrix.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's all about gay sex. Yeah. And so I was not surprised when they're like, I'm ready, because the crab pizza is in my ass. I was not surprised. Look it up. It's in the truther community. I can't believe you remember that. Crazy. Sam Tripoli talked about it more than once. And it's like, Christ. And that's a guy, again, like, if you look at, like, all the different, like, places they go to, the tough guys, all the different types of characters.
The clam, but, like, I'm trying to feel like, fuck, dude, this is like it's making me really think now, like, because I loved that show. Like, I'm trying to like.
Yeah, well, we all did, but again, I'm not mad.
But like, I don't. Yeah, I'm not mad.
This is pandering, right?
You think like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy? Because Barnacle Boy had that outfit. That looks.
There's a lot of cartoons that kind of make fun of like how they're gay. Not just them, like Batman and Robin is like a very pedophilia thing. Like he only has little boys that he works with, and once they get old, he kicks them out. Swear to me, we'll get back justice in the night. So you're not what Gotham deserves. I'm so serious. No, so look at. The ambiguously gay duo. You never seen SNL? They made fun of.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's like he has to wear little tiny shorts as a little boy. So.
Yeah, that's true.
It's. I think it's on Reddit or 4chan, one of those. There's like this whole, like, subreddit of just why it is gay sex, gay porn, and it's all about that. You gotta look into it. There's like this. There's a whole thing.
Yeah, I'm just like flabbergasted by this whole thing.
But my only problem with it is, obviously that's pandering, and no one even cared about the chick from Legend of Korra was a lesbian. They also said that at the same time, and no one's like, oh, no one cares about that. That one wasn't as good as the Avatar, the first one. But
we didn't make a movie on her.
But at the end of the day, he's just a goddamn sponge, right? I don't think he can have a sexual orientation.
For real.
So that's just pandering in my book. Just in my book, okay? It's not a big book. It's a book, okay? All right. Let's get into the next topic, George.
All right. Uh, we
Anonymous?
go with Chaz? Like, really?
Chaz is last. Like I said, we're going full circle. Anonymous.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you noticed, but right when like around the same time Anonymous came back, V for Vendetta came back on Netflix.
Netflix. Crazy.
What a coinkydink. Now, a few fun facts about Anonymous. So Anonymous was, like they call themselves, a legion. So it was many different hackers that worked for the same goal, right? The same goal that WikiLeaks had. Give out the truth, right?
Mhm.
Give out the truth. And we all grew up, right? You and I grew up like Anonymous was the shit. Like,
Yeah.
I had a V for Vendetta mask. I was literally V for
Every dude
Vendetta.
with that had a sticker of Vendetta face.
But in 2012 to 2013, the FBI disbanded them. The head of Anonymous and most of the main Anonymous characters and most Anonymous themselves were arrested. Some did plea bargains, some and essentially worked for the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
So why do they just randomly come back, and why are they giving out information we already know? We already know all this information that they gave out. This is nothing new. And there was some doctored information they gave out, like the list of names from the Jeffrey Epstein Black Book was doctored. And we know that for a fact because the Lolita Express has been public. Her, well, they call ships hers, by the way. And it's an airplane. So her log was different than their Black Book log. Why is that? Well, there's names missing on there. Why is that? And then more names were added for more times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that doctored information? Is that true? Should I actually believe that?
Mm-hmm.
What is what's the truth? Because a truth is the FBI raided, and you can look this up. This is facts. The anonymous site or all the anonymous members, they got them, and they told a lot of them, work with us, give us information, and we'll cut your sentence down, or we'll give you a job. The FBI, CIA, and NSA were for a while sending out jobs to be hacked. That then they trace those people back and say, look, we're gonna blackmail you. You work for us and hack and work for us, or you go to jail. That's what they do. That's what the deep state shadow government does. So one of the oh man, I'm trying to remember his name. One of them essentially said that the FBI came to him. He was like not the top guy, but he was in the top guys. He wasn't the actual head of Anonymous. He said, I think his name was Sakar, was his, or something like that, was his like code name. That the FBI said she just knocked on his door one day and said, this is all the information we have on you. And he even admitted that the head of Anonymous was already working with them. They literally told these members of Anonymous, you need to hack public officials, foreign and domestic, like leaders around the world, and you need to give us personal information on them. You need to go and hack corporations. They wanted them to do nothing but illegal things.
Yeah.
So why is Anonymous back? Who are they? There's a lot of speculation on it. Like, who are these people? Again, they didn't give us anything new. Nothing was new. This is all public record. Everything they gave us was public record. You want to give me something new? Tell me exactly where Julian Assange is right now.
For real.
Whatever documents lead towards Obamagate.
Why not?
It's kind of asinine. And of course, the millennials and the Z, Generation Z, that kind of grew up like idolizing them, are like, they're back, they're great, they're see, Trump is bad. He's a bad man. Look.
But yeah, like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of friends we have that, like, they're like, oh yeah, did you see what Anonymous was putting in? I'm like, dude, you're really falling for that? Like, I don't know. For me, it was fucking pretty clear. Like, but like, again, I'm a conspiracy theorist, so.
Well, I was able to, even using Doctor Google and very narrow Google, where they can literally misguide you, refute the things that they said. I was literally able to look up court cases. And guess what happened? They told me what happened in the court cases. Guess what happened? Everything was taken back. You know, and again, look, I'm not defending Trump. I don't think he has a good background. I don't think he's the best person on fucking earth. And nobody's squeaky clean. Right? But if you don't like Trump for what he's done, you're really not going to like Obama, Hillary Clinton, or Joe Biden.
Amen.
Or any Democrat or Republican, because they all suck. You know, only maybe Daddy Paul and Paul Jr., Rand Paul, maybe they are the closest to, like, squeaky.
Yeah.
Closest.
Maybe the closest.
But that doesn't mean they haven't done anything bad. All right? Look in the mirror. All you people, look in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you a good person? Are you racist? Like Tupac says, what are you doing? Are you racist? Like, these hypocrites that walk around on their high horse with their fucking bad attitudes, thinking they're better than everyone. You know, I'm sorry. How is it the news is going to survive when Trump's out of office?
For real.
Go on Twitter. Go on their news sites. Everything's Trump. Every other post, every other anything has to do with Trump.
That's what's giving them ratings, bro. Like, they're staying to the game. They're seeing what works, and obviously this is working for them. And like, they know how much money they're pulling in on advertisers. Like, you put on CNN, they definitely don't have the same advertisers as before anymore. Like, they have the shitty fucking pharmaceutical, like, drug commercials, or the ones that, like, oh, if you took in this drug, we can help sue this company. Call us. And then they had Trump commercials.
Yeah, they still get their money. They still get their money that way.
All these like fucking crazy ass nice commercials that you never saw before, but because they're getting the viewers and the ratings, the new advertisers are coming in. Yeah, and they love that. Like,
so look at this, right? If you're out there, Anonymous, and you're real, if you're hacking in your cell, or you're working for the deep state, and you're really anonymous, I want you to do something for me. I want you to investigate what's on Podesta's laptop. I want you to investigate Pizzagate one more time and how the real shit behind it, not just because everyone was like said it's hokey. I want you to investigate what happened to the money before 9/11. There's a few other things. There's quite a few things I want you to investigate. I want you to investigate Snoop Dogg. And where is Julian Assange right now in the world? And there's so much stuff you could be doing if you were real. If you were really caring about the people. Right? Why is Anonymous on one side of the political spectrum? Anybody ask that?
I didn't hear anybody.
If you truly care about what's right, you're not a Democrat or a Republican. Again, for all you people that love the Democrats, Look up who didn't want to end slavery. Look up Jim Crow laws. Look up red line states or cities and what cities they were in, and who were the mayors and governors. Look in the crime bills, right? Say what you will, but I think the First Step Act is actually something very important that's happening. It's letting nonviolent offenders get out of jail more quickly. The people that Kamala Harris put in jail for marijuana, right?
Not sending your kid to school because you're a single parent, also.
Yeah.
Shitty, like non-violent.
You had to watch your kid?
Yeah, non-violent offenders, bro.
Yeah.
Like, she put so many people.
She put them in jail.
Yeah, and apparently she's going to be. Did you hear? Like, she's like now the front runner to be the VP.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said. My brother.
They get exposed.
Yes, there's a lot of things that Anonymous, if you're real and you're actually caring, release very important information that we can't get a hold of. Let me ask you, Anonymous, this is what I really want you out of everything, right? This is not political at all. Okay? Don't play the politics. I want Anonymous to get their hands on the sealed evidence of the Epstein case that the judge is refusing to allow to be released. A secret about that judge, she has been in pictures with accomplices of Epstein and knows personally, many people Epstein knows. What? Is that a conflict of interest?
Dude, we need a protest for these type of shit too. If we have the numbers to do what they did with BLM, we have the numbers to go against this shit. Like, this is bullshit. Yeah. Like,
so
change the energy. Same energy, same switch, different topic. How about that? Let's talk about that. Like,
all right.
For real.
So, Anonymous, you have your homework. Get it done. If you're real, if you really care, get that done. At least that. If you can release that for me, I'll listen to you, and I'll fucking praise you, and I'll say they're the real Anonymous. But they're not going to release that. Also, I heard by a birdie and on the wire that Anonymous is the CEO of Twitter.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is just this on the wire. People are just talking about it through the bushes. But that's in the truther world, they're kind of whispering about that. They think it's him. Because a lot of these big tech leaders are trying to do whatever they can to stop Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But, if all the problem, look, again, if the whole system is racist and the whole system is ran by liberals, all right, moving on. Let's go on to our finale. Chaz. Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. Man, I was like, someone was like telling me, like, oh, did you hear about Chaz? I was like, Chaz Bono? What's that person doing? Are they mad? It is LGBTQ month, Pride Month.
They take over LGBTQ zone.
Yeah. I saw a few other. They keep adding new numbers or letters to it. But going back, and here's another thing. A secret. Most of the people in the black community don't like the LGBTQ community. Just letting you know. So, like, go to the hood and ask them. Seriously, go to the hood. None of you white people have ever fucking been to the hood. No, seriously. All right? Unless you're buying drugs or sucking dick. So go fuck yourself. Go to the hood and actually try to get to know people. So going back, Chaz, right? What? I didn't know this could happen. And
me too. Like I thought it was like, you can do this? Like,
all right, so let's get into it. So obviously one of the most liberal places in the world is Seattle, Washington, right? It's funny, even though they have one of the biggest naval bases right there as well. But But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Chaz. So, Chaz. So, a group of Antifa, BLM members, anarchists, druggies, hippies, homeless, rappers, taggers, a whole smorgasbord of people have created this place called Chaz, right? They, after the rioting, they decided to occupy. They put up fences, borders, like the cement cylinders so people can't drive through, armed guards, like that gentleman to my right, left, whatever you see on your screen. And the hands of power keep changing. It's a very weird dynamic. So it's 4 to 6 blocks. I've heard different numbers, but it's mainly 6, but they pretty much occupy 4. They're creating little gardens of bullshit. It's something that a lot of people have fantasized about, right? People like the conspiracy people are like, man, I wish I could just own some land and just not pay taxes and F off. Let me just live off my land with a gun and a good woman. Well, I don't know what most of those statements are true with these people, right? Now, the problem is that there's still businesses inside. People still live inside. It's not just this random strip of land in the middle of the forest, right? That would be a lot better if a lot of people wouldn't oppose as much. Now, you have this ever-changing rank of who's in charge and who they can kick out and who they want inside. If you speak to the mayor, she'll tell you it's a summer of love. If you speak to the governor, he'll tell you, what are you talking about? Because I apparently know as much as Joe Biden. And he's going to say that he has dementia because he's about to lose his spot. Because guess what? He gets voted out next year. So, I personally think this is a ploy by Antifa, George Soros, and some other entity that they're looking into. Have been confirmed by somebody who lives there and works with some intelligence and PD that the FBI and the DOJ are working with the local police to investigate where they're getting money, funding, and who's actually putting in this. And on the wire, it's pretty much somebody that you don't hear in the news, as in who they're being blamed. So George Soros obviously funds Antifa, but apparently there's a different benefactor and that's supplying them. And so that's going to be interesting when it comes to light. I wonder if our news will actually care and actually be honest, unless they're part of it. Now, I think this is a bait.
Yeah,
what they're trying to do is...
Jump also put that like big news coming. People are like going down.
Well, the feds have already started arresting Antifa members that didn't make it to Chaz. Right? You're in a big city, and you're not in Chaz, they're gonna get you. There's already videos of them just swooping up in unmarked cars, grabbing you and going. Right? Straight up scary shit that I don't care if you're a good citizen, bad citizen, care or don't care, you should care. Because on one hand, it's a good thing that they're capturing these fucking idiots. On the second hand is, who's a terrorist? Who are they going to use as a terrorist? Are they just doing it to the wrong people, the right people? What will come from this? But Gitmo looks like it's getting a few more people that aren't just Arab. Better work on your Arabic. So, you know, now, I think it's a bait. What I mean by a bait is everyone keep saying Trump is threatening the military. Trump is putting troops. The generals will turn against him. If Trump tries anything, the generals will pull him out themselves. We'll start a coup, essentially. And they're literally saying they're going to do a coup if he tries it. Now, the National Guard is not the United States military. It's not the Army. Not even the goddamn Coast Guard. All right? It's the state-ran National fucking Guard. I know the name says national. But just like people that hear interstate, interstellar, don't know what inter means. Okay? They think inner, right? Interstate and interstate are two different things, right? One letter apart. So, and they mean actually the opposite. So, this is an issue. People don't know English. And I realize this. People can't comprehend shit. I know people that have degrees that literally cannot comprehend something because this Rothschild factory style education bullshit that they are forced to follow orders. And if you can read, repeat, and write down over and over, you get a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, teach you how to comprehend, build, and bring new. But whatever, that's a different story for another day. So they're baiting him to try to put in the military. They want this to turn into a bloodbath because honestly, there are a lot of innocent people there that just are pissed or just trying to say, fuck it, I'm gonna go do some fucking heroin. All right? Like, let's be real. Okay? My wife hates it when it smells like barbecue sauce and vinegar. That one's for you, Martin, for listening. I hate you. I will never like vinegar. Like I've been barbecuing all weekend, and it pisses me off sometimes smelling that barbecue sauce vinegar. But seriously, not everyone in there is a bad person. There will be innocent bystanders that are gonna get murdered. Children. But again, y'all, I'm in Waco. Y'all remember what the FBI did? All right. So
there's a Netflix miniseries on it now. So yeah.
Obviously, feds aren't afraid to, murder people and crack skulls.
There's kids in that bitch too.
Yeah. So but it's all a bait because the second he does something, they're gonna freak out. But the problem is, if he doesn't do anything, they're gonna freak out. No matter what Trump does, they're gonna freak out. People just no matter what he does, and it's like, dude, he's not a good person. But neither are any of the presidents have ever been here. They've all been bullshit. There's been a lot of bullshit lies in our freaking history classes, and I don't know if you know this, but like most have been drunks, most have been violent, most have been shitty people, most have been racist. Most have fucked up. And it's on the people of our country to move forward and do better. If you really think the president, one person, dictates how great this goddamn country is, you're an idiot. All right? You live in this country. Don't want it to fall. Because if it falls and the Chinese leaders stomp your fucking head in with little tiny boots, you're going to be pissed. And you're going to be like, oh shit, I shouldn't have, let me tell you something. All of these rich people, like Oprah, Snoop Dogg, and all these assholes, they can afford security. And they can leaving this country when shit goes down. So, again, you're going to get fucked over. You're going to starve. And you're going to have a problem because you're not super rich. You don't matter. I'm sorry. Nobody matters, right? We don't matter.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're 3 wrong moves from starving to death. As a normal citizen of this country, you could be homeless in a month, in a week. You could starve to death. You can get a sickness. You could just slip and hit your fucking head in the shower. So,
you ain't lying.
But we don't matter to any of the rich. You really think Snoop Dogg cares? Snoop Dogg's been in his Zen room, smoking pot every day, telling young black people to go out and loot and riot and fucking overthrow the government. Well, he sits back behind armed guards. He ain't on the streets. He's not out there. So, you know, don't look to this guy.
For real.
You know, where's Obama? Making money right now.
Making billions, bro.
So, they don't really care about you. They say they do. You know why they say they do? Because right now, while you're still able to pay for their shit, they're going to profit off you. They love profiting off you. That's their favorite thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
They lie to you, tell you what you want to hear, and then take your money. Just like the fox hides behind that smile. So, going back to Chaz, what do you think, George? What do you think is going to be the outcome? What do you think is going to happen next? What do you think should happen?
I think it's gonna just fizzle out soon. I think it's gonna be like what they did in New York, kind of like the Occupy Wall Street. I think they may starve themselves out at this point, especially like the fact that like there's being more and more splits. Like they're starting their own shitty ass gardens that they don't know how to clearly farm, and that takes about 3 months to even get food out of your shit out of that. If you
Gardens are so small they wouldn't even feed like 2 people.
Well, yeah. Here's also the kicker. They're already splitting the farms up by nationality, like indigenous and black farm don't eat our food or don't grow on this type shit too. So
yeah, and there's a
I don't
homeless
think
farm
it's gonna
too.
last.
This guy's like, I'll fight y'all.
Like, I truly don't even think they're gonna pop off a shot because of the. They know everything's gonna be over. So I think it's gonna be like she said, a summer of love, you know. But
you think it's gonna last all summer?
I think it may. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, if Occupy Wall Street lasted 4 months, I think they do.
What about if there's a mandatory quarantine? Do they have to go?
See, I don't know, but like, remember, people are protesting, and they didn't know and gave a fuck about quarantine anymore. So as long as you're protesting for something, I'm pretty sure you have a green light to do whatever the fuck.
Obviously, if you look at the news and the contradictions in our titles, how on 1 to 5 minutes away from each other, they say they're bad for going out, and then they're good for protesting, and it's like COVID's gonna kill you if you go to a rally.
Yeah, so I don't
but if
think
you go to a protest, you're protected.
Yeah, and like at this rate, unless you really hate the like the U.S. and you want it to fail, I wouldn't close it. Like even though like a second wave is coming, it's not the smart idea. I think if you're treat it like the fucking flu. If you're sick, you're sick from it. If you're sick, stay at home. If you're not, go to do whatever you need to go do.
Well, the federal government has already said that their new plan of opening up, especially if there's a new wave going to come, is you quarantine the sick, you quarantine the elderly separately. Cuomo, that one's for you, not together. Okay, not together, Cuomo, separately.
Mm-hmm.
I know he does know how to read, because the Cuomo brothers don't know how to read. Okay, listen to a few of their statements in the last month. But look, I agree with the feds. Start opening things back up. If you're sick, don't go to work. You're not supposed to go to work if you have the flu.
This whole entire thing.
Go to work if you have pneumonia. If you have lice, you're not even supposed to go to work unless you get it fixed, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but then that's the same with you got the clap. Don't fuck anybody, raw dog. It's the medication. But guess what? You and I both know, no offense, Joe, if you hear this, we have a friend that got the clap 3 times from the same chick. Sorry, no putty that good. All right? It's just a little bit of antibiotics. Gets rid of it. What the fuck? All right. So, obviously, if someone's too lazy and doesn't care, and like STD spread like no other, people don't listen about anything. Again, self-accountability. People don't like to do what they're supposed to do. People are lazy, people are aggressive, and they think they know better. That's why cops shoot people. That's why people get sick and die. That's why people think they can run from the police. That's why this all these problems happen, because every person thinks that they know better when they don't. Chazins, Chazwinians, Chazanites, they don't know better. And it's going to end bad for you. That mayor is probably going to get killed.
You think so? Like you know, people
Bro,
out there.
Hell's
Like, how
Angels.
pissed are they at this
Mongols
shit?
and Hell's Angels are going up there to regulate.
Is that true? Like,
I've seen that from multiple sources. Now, I don't think every single one, but groups of them are going to go up there. Again, is that 100% true? I live in the world where I don't know what's true anymore.
Hey, man.
Let me tell you something. You knew for a fact 4 months ago there were no aliens. The NASA said there's UFOs. FBI, Pentagon, all of them. Imagine what you know tomorrow. That's a paraphrase of Men in Black. But seriously, this is the thing. What is happening? Is the simulation broken? Are people just, is this... This is 2020, man. Again, everyone's been saying 2020, a year of clarity, and this has been nothing but clarity. The problem is, people are being used. Their anger, emotions, fears are being used. And they're not taking accountability for themselves. And obviously, they want the coronavirus to spread more. Why do you think they want you to protest?
Amen.
They want it to be worse. They want to keep Joe Biden in a basement. They want people to be angry. If Joe Biden becomes president, and then in 1 week, there is no more Antifa, there's no more foreign spying, there's no more media lies, there's no more Greta Thunberg, I'll know for a fact it was all bullshit. I'll tell you that much. Because, and that's what he promised. He has promised that all of that will change, except for Greta. I was kidding. Come on, people, calm down. If he becomes president, I'm afraid that you're going to see that Act Blue is the one that's investing money into Antifa.
Yeah. Like, who'd you say? Sorry?
Act Blue. Act Blue.
Oh, the BLM people?
No. So they're not. Okay. Act Blue is a donating center for Democrats, blues, the blue states. That's the whole point. That's why I call Act Blue. BLM funnels money into Act Blue. Act Blue funnels money into Democratic candidates. So if you're giving money to BLM, you're giving money to white people. Ain't that the truth always? They always be doing that to you guys.
Always make
it. Come on, people. Wake up, man.
Like what Kanye West says, bro.
Yeah. So, all right. Final thoughts, George? Coming up to about an hour and 20.
Oh, wow. Well, everything's connected. And don't be so... Like, I hope... Let's write a fucking letter. All right?
Yes, we're going to start writing... Okay, 2 things we're going to do. Right? Everyone needs to start writing letters to the UN like it's motherfucking Santa Claus. Like it's motherfucking Santa Claus, okay? I want us all to write letters, right?
Yeah.
And force them to look into child slave trafficking and slave shit and bullshit, right?
Why not?
2, we all need to spam Al Sharpton and Snoop Dogg with pictures of them with Trump. There are so many pictures of all of these fucking people that hate Trump hanging out together.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Show it.
Those two things, and Anonymous, your homework is to get the information that the judge has locked up about Jeffrey Epstein. We need to know that. He did not kill himself. There are nefarious acts in the shadows that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are for the people, don't be political. Do it for the people. We're for the people. We're honest. We're probably the least biased people you ever see. Politically. I'll tell you what people do is bad and what they do is good. You're the fucking idiot, and your life is full of logical fallacies. I'm going to call you out. If you're a hypocritical fuck, I'm going to call you out. YouTube, please don't pull me this video because I'm calling you out for being hypocritical. All right. Few more final thoughts. Chaz, I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to last that long.
Would you be shocked?
Again, the feds don't allow things like that. There's armed people. And I'm just waiting for the day for something bad to happen. And I don't know if you noticed that the march in Huntington, they didn't end up going to Old Town Huntington.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
They went down. I've watched the videos because we know people that were there.
Uh-huh.
They were supposed to meet up by like Goldwater, an area up there. But they actually just went straight down to the beach area, and we're at the beach.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh.
And again, yeah.
Smart.
So, look, there are bad people out there. And to just label them white supremacists, terrorists, Antifa, or whatever you want to label them is foolish. Because honestly, the people sleeping next to you could be a bad person. People are too blind to see their loved ones doing nefarious things. People don't like to snitch on each other, especially if they feel a connection. They don't want to betray the trust of a loved one, so they rather betray the trust of someone they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? You don't know any of these celebrities. These people in the media, these politicians, you don't know any of them. They don't love you. They don't care about you. You're a statistic. That's why they throw statistics in your face, because that's all you are. So Chaz will fall. Actually, I'm waiting for another thing to happen. Another Chaz. A new one.
They've been saying they've been trying to build them in Portland and a whole bunch of other areas now.
But they're cracking down. One thing that our government is pretty goddamn good at is paperwork. Unless it's to give you money back. Then they suck. If you owe them money or have committed a crime, they're going to get you. If they owe you money, oh, Jesus Christ, it's going to take a while. Right? Racism will end before you get your money. So, just look, people. Look at yourself. Realize what you do is right, what you do is wrong. Ask yourself what's right and what's wrong. And talk to one another. Figure out what the best steps are. There are problems in this world. But nothing changes overnight. And apparently, nothing's getting better. So, keep your eyes open, all three of them. Thank you for doing a good show, George. Hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time.
Night.
Good night.